es la grabación que yo tengo, ¿sí?
Ah, ok, perfecto.
Gracias, Ernesto. Muy bien. Ok, Omar, en este momento puedes comenzar.
Um, Nomás tengo entendido que tengo que mencionar quién viene conmigo, ¿no?
Ah, sí, sí, sí. Adelante, Omar. Muchas gracias.
Sí, nomás algo rapidito. Soy Omar Lomelí. De hecho, estoy acompañado ahorita por lo que sea mi madre. Y entonces, ahora sí, ya me gustaría empezar. Ya estoy grabando. Sorry. Good afternoon. I'm Omar Lomelí, and I'm about to conclude PrepaTec's multicultural program. Unlike most students, I actually did not start my high school at PrepaTec. My first 2 semesters I did were a much smaller institution that quite interestingly claimed to have a higher education. For context, submitting all of the approximately 10 activities on time were enough to be awarded with a 100 in each partial. Keep in mind that it was almost impossible to have less than 50 as a final grade for each partial. In other words, I could completely miss the first 2 partials as a whole, and then do all my activities on the final and actually pass the class. Of course, it did not take me long to realize that I had much to learn. I was almost halfway through my high school, but I found myself back to the first step of the stairway. It was a challenge, but I was up to it. I made sure to rebuild myself and do only my best in every situation, to step out of my comfort zone until I could only feel the end of the day, every day, that was at least one step closer to the top of the stairway. Fast forward a couple of years, I can now showcase some of the numerous competences that I developed and acquired in this time. Self-management was without a doubt a key competence that I developed, and of course, that I had to take on the challenge. I had to learn how to establish reasonable goals, both short and long term, in order to improve, starting from establishing time to study and do my homework, all the way to utilizing different learning methods and eventually improving my grade. One of my biggest motivators to develop this competence was actually the soccer team. I've been representing PrepaTec in soccer since the very second I stepped up campus for the first time. This forced me in a way to constantly seek how to use my time wisely. Training 6 times a week for at least 2 hours after school certainly takes a toll both physically and mentally. Tournaments are a great example of how I had to make it work. Not only did I have to have a comfortable grade in order to miss classes for a week or 2, but turn in assignments, projects, or even tests in advance, while also preparing physically for the tournament to come. I have made a hobby of making my free time into my work time. I had a lot of support, of course, along the way from my teammates, coaches, friends, family, and even teachers such as Nilsa and Anaitza. Collaboration is one of my favorite competencies to develop. I would like to sideline the fact that, of course, soccer is a team sport and is one of the most beautiful ways to collaborate with others. I wanted to point out that numerous projects, such as our community service, Fiesta Humanidades, Moon, Eureka, do in fact require a great deal of collaboration. I've had the luck of working with great people that made me not only change my perspective of collaboration, but actually made me eager to help my team and the people around me. Our collective goals were always reached, and we certainly had fun along the way. There were experiences of self-realization, empathy, and motivation to help and encourage change. Moving as to my IES scale, I'm actually pretty proud of my results. Exploration is among my highest scoring competences on my report, and indeed is my present in my daily life. I'm always up to the challenge and take decisions that allow me to explore and learn more about the world and even myself. I was actually eager to be an exchange student in Shanghai, but as you know, there's a story where a virus is roaming the planet. Either way, it has not stopped me from seeking new responsibilities and experiences. I really find it stimulating participating on new projects, such as being in the robotics team and in a couple of student groups. Despite my academic and athletic achievements, I truly value how these tools provided by this institution really helped me forge the student that I am today. Not only do I feel ready to embark on a new challenge in August, but I'm sure that it will allow me to keep on growing and learning for the time to come. Thank you.
Muchas gracias, Omar. Adelante, la persona.